Welcome back for another deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Today we're tackling online job searching,
Okay.
specifically a platform called RoleCatcher.
Right.
You've sent us some interesting excerpts from their website,
Yes.
and I'm curious to see how they measure up.
Yeah.
What do you say we jump right in?
Let's do it.
So RoleCatcher bills itself as a one-stop shop for all your job searching and career development needs.
Uh-huh.
They've got the usual job board aggregation,
Right.
but they're also touting some interesting AI-powered features.
Yes.
Have you encountered anything like this before?
Yeah. You know what's fascinating here is how RoleCatcher is weaving AI into practically every aspect of their platform,
Okay.
from resume optimization to interview practice.
Wow.
Instead of treating AI as a buzzword, they seem to be using it to address specific pain points in the job search process.
Right. And one thing that caught my eye is their tagline,
Okay.
beat the automated recruiter.
Yeah.
It seems like everyone's been talking about these applicant tracking systems,
Yes.
or ATS.
Right.
That scan resumes for keywords.
Exactly.
How exactly does RoleCatcher help you get past those digital gatekeepers?
So they claim to analyze job descriptions
Okay.
and identify the specific skills and keywords that employers are looking for.
All right.
Think of it like this. Imagine having a cheat sheet that tells you exactly what the hiring manager wants to see on your resume.
Okay. Now that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like having a secret decoder ring for those sometimes cryptic job descriptions.
Right.
But do they just tell you to stuff your resume with keywords?
Good question.
Because we all know how much recruiters love that.
Right. Not quite.
Okay.
RoleCatcher seems to understand that the ultimate goal is to get your application in front of a human.
Right.
Their website mentions something called a scored CV resume,
Okay.
where their AI actually analyzes your resume in relation to a specific job description
Okay.
and gives you a score based on how well they match.
Interesting.
But they go beyond just matching keywords.
Okay.
They claim to look at the overall quality and relevance of your experience.
So it's not just about checking boxes. It's about presenting your skills and experience in a way that's both algorithm-friendly and genuinely compelling to a human reader.
Precisely.
Gotcha.
And for those who opt for their Copilot AI service,
Okay.
it sounds like they offer even more personalized support.
Okay.
Imagine having an AI assistant that helps you tailor your cover letter
Wow.
and even your answers to application questions.
Okay, that's starting to sound a little too futuristic for me.
Right.
But I can definitely see the appeal.
Yeah.
Especially for someone who might not have a lot of experience with cover letter writing.
Right.
Or who struggles to articulate their value proposition effectively.
Right.
Or who struggles to articulate their value proposition effectively.
Exactly.
It's like having a personal marketing team in your corner.
Exactly. And speaking of personalization, we should talk about their Career Compass tool.
Okay.
It's not just about landing your next gig.
Okay.
It seems designed to help you figure out your overall career trajectory.
It's like having a GPS for your career,
Right.
guiding you towards roles and industries that align with your skills and aspirations.
Exactly.
Now, I'm really intrigued. What kind of insights does Career Compass offer?
While the excerpts you shared don't go into granular detail,
Okay.
they mention that it helps you explore career paths,
Okay.
set goals,
Huh.
and even identify skill development opportunities.
Okay.
Imagine you're considering a career shift,
Yeah.
but you're not quite sure where to start.
Right.
Career Compass could potentially analyze your existing skills and experience
Quick.
and suggest related fields or roles that you might not have even considered.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It's like having a career counselor in your pocket,
Right.
nudging you towards new possibilities.
Yeah.
And helping you connect the dots between your existing skills and your future aspirations.
Yes, and on top of that,
Yeah.
RoleCatcher also boasts about having thousands of career guides,
Oh.
even a highly specific one for aspiring sporting accessories specialized sellers.
Wow, that's niche.
I know, right?
It sounds like they're not just focusing on the usual tech or finance fields.
Right.
They're trying to cater to a diverse range of industries and career paths.
Absolutely.
That's interesting.
They're definitely aiming for that comprehensive, one-stop shop approach to career development.
Wow, okay. You know, one thing that really strikes me about RoleCatcher is their emphasis on giving job seekers more agency in the process.
Absolutely.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, it's like they're handing you the keys to the kingdom.
Right.
Or at least to a better understanding of it.
Yeah.
Instead of feeling like you're sending your resume into a black hole,
Right.
they're giving you a peek behind the curtain, demystifying those algorithms that often feel so opaque.
Right. Like Remember how we talked about their AI analyzing job descriptions to pinpoint the skills employers are after?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not just about blindly submitting applications and hoping for the best.
Right.
It's about understanding the game and playing it strategically.
Right.
For someone who thrives on data and insights, this kind of transparency could be a game changer.
It's almost like they're leveling the playing field a bit.
Right.
Traditionally, it's been those with the strongest networks or the most insider knowledge who have had the upper hand.
Yeah.
But with RoleCatcher, anyone who's willing to put in the effort can access those insights and tailor their approach accordingly.
I couldn't agree more. And this ties into another important aspect of RoleCatcher's approach,
What's that?
their networking features. Even in the age of AI and automation, and building genuine connections is still paramount.
Absolutely. And it sounds like they're trying to make that process a little less daunting
Right.
with their dedicated network feature.
Yeah.
What exactly caught your eye there?
Well, they're essentially providing you with a centralized hub
Right.
for managing your professional relationships.
Okay.
Imagine a digital Rolodex, but supercharged.
Wow.
You can categorize your contacts,
Okay.
link them to specific job applications,
Mhm.
and even visualize your networking efforts on a Kanban-style board.
Wait, back up a bit.
Yeah.
Kanban style board,
Yeah,
for those of us who aren't familiar with that term.
of course.
Ah.
It's a visual system for managing tasks and workflows.
Okay.
Instead of just having a static list of contacts, you can drag and drop them into different columns
Okay.
based on where they are in your networking funnel,
Okay.
maybe to contacted, follow-up, that sort of thing.
Right.
It encourages a more proactive and organized approach to relationship building,
That makes so much sense.
right?
It's one thing to have a vast network, but it's another thing entirely to nurture those relationships effectively
Exactly.
and being able to link contacts to specific job applications.
Yes.
Brilliant.
I know, right?
No more frantically messaging your network asking if they know anyone at a company.
Right.
You can see it right there in your RoleCatcher dashboard.
Exactly. It eliminates the guesswork and helps you leverage your network strategically,
Right.
especially when it comes to those coveted internal referrals.
It seems like they're really trying to cover all the bases.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something that I know weighs heavily on many job seekers' minds.
What's that?
The interview.
Ah, yes. The moment of truth.
Exactly. And it sounds like RoleCatcher is pulling out the big guns
Okay.
with their interview preparation features.
Right.
We briefly touched on their massive library of practice questions,
Mm-hmm.
but they also mentioned something about AI-powered feedback on video practice sessions.
Right.
Have you ever encountered anything like that?
It's definitely an area where AI is making waves.
Right.
Imagine recording yourself answering common interview questions
Yeah.
and then having an AI analyze your performance. Everything from your word choice to your tone of voice to your body language.
Wow.
It's like having a virtual interview coach providing you with personalized feedback and areas for improvement.
Okay. That's kind of blowing my mind.
Right.
I can definitely see how that could be incredibly valuable, especially for someone who gets nervous during interviews or struggles with self-awareness.
Yeah.
It's like having an objective third party point out those subtle habits that might be holding you back.
Exactly. And while it's important to remember that AI is just a tool and human interaction is still paramount in the interview process,
Right.
this kind of feedback can be incredibly powerful for building confidence and refining your approach.
It's about using technology to augment our own skills and put our best foot forward.
Right.
But, all of this talk about AI and algorithms and digital platforms has me thinking about the bigger picture.
Okay.
What does all of this mean for the future of work?
That's a big question.
Right.
And it's one that a lot of people are thinking about. It's like, is AI going to replace us all?
Exactly.
And while it's impossible to predict the future with certainty,
Sure.
I think it's important to remember that technology is a double-edged sword.
Okay.
It has the potential to both disrupt and create.
Right. We've already seen AI automating certain tasks, which can be concerning for those whose livelihoods depend on those jobs.
Absolutely.
But it's also creating new opportunities in fields like data science, AI ethics, and even creative industries that are leveraging AI in fascinating ways.
Exactly. The key, I believe, is adaptability.
Okay.
We need to be lifelong learners, constantly updating our skill sets and embracing new technologies rather than fearing them.
It's not about resisting change. It's
Yeah.
about riding the wave. And platforms like RoleCatcher, with their emphasis on career exploration, skill development, and staying ahead of the curve, could be valuable allies in that journey.
Absolutely. They're not just trying to help you find a job today.
Right.
They're trying to prepare you for the jobs of tomorrow.
That's a really empowering way to think about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about how RoleCatcher is leveraging AI to empower job seekers,
Right.
streamline the process,
Yeah.
and even prepare them for the future of work.
Right.
But there's another side to this equation that we haven't explored yet,
What's up?
the employers.
Yeah. It's easy to get caught up in the job seeker's perspective,
Right,
but the employer side of this equation is equally fascinating.
right,
And from what I can gather, RoleCatcher hasn't forgotten about them.
right. It takes two to tango, after all.
Exactly.
They actually have a whole section on their website dedicated to employers.
Right.
And it sounds like they're offering some pretty enticing features to streamline the hiring process on their end as well.
Yeah.
What jumped out at you?
One thing that caught my eye was their emphasis on matching,
Okay.
both in terms of skills and company culture.
Yeah.
They talk about a reverse matching system
Okay.
where employers can search their database of job seekers for potential candidates whose profiles align with their open roles.
So instead of just posting a job and waiting for the applications to roll in, employers can proactively seek out the talent they need.
Yeah.
It's like they're turning the tables on the traditional hiring process.
Exactly. It's like a curated matchmaking service for the job market.
Well,
Imagine being able to sift through a pool of candidates who not only have the right skills and experience, but who are also a good cultural fit for your company.
that's huge.
Yeah.
We all know that company culture can make or break a job both for the employee and the employer.
Right.
How do they even begin to assess something as nuanced as cultural fit?
So from what I gathered,
Yeah.
employers can create detailed company profiles that showcase their values, mission, and work environment.
Okay.
They can even highlight things like their approach to remote work, work-life balance, and professional development opportunities.
It's about painting a more holistic picture of what it's really like to work at that company beyond just the job description.
Yes.
No more relying on vague mission statements or cheesy stock photos.
Precisely. And for job seekers, this kind of transparency can be invaluable. It's an opportunity to really get a feel for a company's culture and values up front and see if they align with their own.
It's about finding that perfect match, both professionally and culturally.
Yeah.
Which is ultimately beneficial for everyone involved.
Right.
Less turnover, higher engagement, a happier workforce.
Exactly. And it sounds like RoleCatcher is really trying to leverage technology to make that happen.
That's awesome.
But let's be real.
Right.
The success of any platform like this hinges on one crucial factor:
What's that?
adoption.
Right.
If companies don't embrace it, job seekers won't use it,
Right.
and vice versa.
It's the age-old chicken and egg problem.
Right.
So how do you see this playing out?
That's a tough one. Do you think RoleCatcher has what it takes to gain traction in a market that's already saturated with job boards and career platforms? That's the million-dollar question.
Right.
And it's impossible to say for sure, but I do think they've identified some key pain points in the hiring process.
Okay.
And they're offering a compelling solution that leverages the power of AI and data in a way that feels fresh and innovative.
It's definitely a departure from those clunky, outdated job boards that many of us have come to loathe.
Exactly. And for companies that are struggling to find qualified candidates or who are bogged down by inefficient hiring processes,
Yeah.
RoleCatcher could be a breath of fresh air.
Right. And for job seekers who are tired of sending their resumes into the void,
Yes.
it could offer a more streamlined and even empowering experience.
Right.
But let's not forget about that Get Discovered feature.
Oh, right.
It feels like a bit of a wild card.
It's definitely a bold move.
Right.
Essentially, they're flipping the script on the traditional job search by allowing users to opt in to be discoverable by potential employers.
Wow.
It's a proactive approach that could be particularly appealing to those who are already well established in their careers or who are highly sought after in their fields.
It's like saying, I'm not actively looking, but if the right opportunity comes along,
Right.
it's a power move for sure.
Right.
But it also raises some questions about privacy and control.
Absolutely. And to their credit, RoleCatcher seems to be aware of those concerns.
Oh, okay.
They emphasize that opting into the Get Discovered feature is completely optional.
Right.
And they give users the ability to control their visibility settings.
Which is essential.
Right. It's
Yeah.
about giving users agency over their own career narratives.
Right. And ensuring that they feel comfortable and in control throughout the process.
It sounds like they've really thought this through.
They really have.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think we've reached the end of another deep dive.
This was a great one.
It really was. And as always, we want to hear from you, our listeners.
Yes.
Have you tried RoleCatcher or any other AI-powered career platforms?
Right. What are your thoughts?
What are your hopes and concerns about the evolving landscape of work?
Let us know.
Share your thoughts with us on social media using the hashtag #TheDeepDive.
Yes.
Until next time, happy job hunting.
Best of luck out there.